Half a day, everyone.
Oh.
Okay, all right. Okay, we're gonna call our meeting to order for Southern Guam Water Conservation District. Today is our regular board meeting. The date is Wednesday, May 21st, 2025. The time is 4:14 p.m. And we are here in person at the College of Natural and Applied Sciences, room 202, as well going on Zoom. And we are live broadcast, right, John? That's what, yeah. Okay, so can we get a roll call?
Yes.
Thank you.
Chairperson Michael Uggan,
Present?
Vice Chairperson Glenn Takai,
Present via Zoom.
District Director Dr. Glenn Dula,
Present.
District Director Martha Tenorio,
Present.
District Director Yvonne Menguatnya-Waneza, present. We have a
So
quorum.
we do have a quorum. And then we have a,
For staff present, District Administrator Erica Pangilinan,
Present.
Program Support Specialist John Tanuvasa,
present.
Conservation Technician Madeline Flores, Project Director Geraldine Datwin.
Excuse me.
Oh, we're. Grandmother.
It's your last rosary. It's your last rosary tonight.
Oh,
Conservation Associate Dalen Pangilinan,
Present.
Conservation Associate Jonathan Borja.
Present.
and are you?
And, okay, also present, our USDA partner, Noah Van Eek.
Present.
And then we also have UOG drone for Andrea Velasquez. Present. Okay, welcome. And then we also have online virtually Savannah Garcia from the Northern Guam's Soil and Water Conservation District.
And
Staff.
And
Present.
thank you for joining us,
Jay Dornella.
as well as NRCS Jay Darnella.
Jay.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay, one thing, Mark Acosta, our advisor, UOG advisor, called me earlier. So his, father-in-law passed away, was it last night or early this morning? And so he called me and asked to be excused from the meeting for today, so he won't be here today.
Okay, prayers.
That said, we'll move on to the acceptance of the meeting agenda. You can make a motion when you guys are ready.
A motion to accept the agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion or inputs on the agenda? None?
No.
No objection? So moved. Thank you. Move on to our approval, our minutes for April 23rd, 2025 meeting. We can have a motion when you guys are ready.
A motion to approve the meeting minutes of April 23rd, 2025.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Any changes or anything for the minutes? None? Okay, without objection, so moved on approval of the minutes. Moving on to treasurer's report.
Cool, thank you. Okay, so let me just put that up. Just going through the balances. In the general fund, we have $96,425.11. The TA 2023 account, there is $11,118.74. And in the feral swine account, there's $4,456.65. Also, let's see. Oops. Sorry, couldn't get that out. Okay, there we go. As far as the grants, the REPI grant, we are pending a no-cost extension. In the FSPF grant, we are also pending advance or in reimbursement. And in the TA 2023, full exhaustion of the funds since as of June 30th. Or by June 30th.
All right, move to accept the treasurer's report.
I second.
Okay. Any objection? None, so moved, thank you. Right, we're moving good.
Big guy.
Okay, moving on to number 5, your NRCS District Conservation Report. Jay, you have anything?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Are you able to hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I just wanted to give a little update on where we're at with the first round signups for CSP and Equip, and then I received the email of questions from the board on some items that I was working on answering, so I'll cover that. But as for our first round signups, for the first round CSP, the 20 applications we received, there was a little more than 20, but some of them were moved over to second round. So with the 20 applications that were still in the queue, 5 of the CSP applications were found ineligible. This was due to some of them had existing CSP or Equip contracts where they had outstanding practices that weren't installed and they're behind schedule. So they were ranked as a low priority, and also some of them were ranked as ineligible due to that, depending on how far back their practices that were due weren't installed. And then we had 4 out of the 20 applications cancel. These were just for like personal reasons. The participants felt that this year wasn't the time for them to apply for CSP, but they'd probably be interested in applying next time around. And then we have 7 ineligible status, which we're moving them towards pre-approved status, which means eventually they will be obligated, but it's just a matter of fixing up some of the contract documents, the supporting documents that we have on file, like their implementation requirements, finalizing the conservation plan, and submitting Section 7 and 106 documents. And then so far, from the 20 applications, we've had 3 approved, which means they're obligated. So that's 3 CSP applications obligated for 25. And then we have 1 that's moving into that status in a little bit. We're just finalizing a few more items and waiting for customer signature. And on our first round Equip, we had a total of 27 applications that are still in our queue, where we have 5 that were found ineligible. Again, some of them may have not met eligibility within the certain time frame, or some weren't able to submit some documents. And then we had 10 which are in eligible status, which we're continuing to do planning work on to move them forward to pre-approved status. We have 1 in pre-approved status, and 11 have been approved or obligated, but we're just waiting on customer signatures right now for their contract. And we have a deadline to complete to move all of these eligible applications for both CSP and equip for the first round. Their deadline is May 30th. So we're working hard to try and meet that deadline. For the second round CSP, we received 13 applications. 3 of those, the participant canceled. And then we had 4 which were ineligible. Again, they either didn't meet the threshold or they didn't meet eligibility, or they also had outstanding current existing contract items for previous programs still outstanding. We have 4 eligible of the 13, which we're going to go ahead and continue to move forward to try and get those obligated, and 2 where the customers decided to defer to FY26. And our second round equip signups, we had 24 applications. I haven't sorted through them yet, but I know a large amount of them are Joint Chiefs, which is good news. So we're gonna have a lot of planning for those. And the rest that are outside of the Joint Chiefs, they'll have to be deferred because we don't have any funding for regular equip. So those will be moved to fiscal year 26 sign up. So that concludes the signups for round 1 and round 2. And then I'll move forward to the questionnaire that was sent to me by the Southern District. And I think one of the questions that were brought up was onboarding 2 more of the Southern District staff, Daleen and Jonathan, which I don't have a problem with. We just need to discuss on what days they would be available to be providing assistance to our office, and which is not a problem, and we can discuss that later. But it's not a problem. I'll just send Erica the onboarding document that they need to fill out and send that back to me. And then there was also the question of getting Joe Takero access as well. I'm looking into that right now, because also the question was if he was considered a technical service provider. In a sense, he is, but we'll just need to get him into the system if that is what he wants to pursue, to provide technical assistance to the district as well as NRCS or any other USDA customers. So that's not a problem, but I'm reaching out to my state office, Mandy Chen. She's the TSP contact, so she was out today, but I'll reach out with her tomorrow and see what needs to be done. But I do believe that the last email that she sent out was that there was no the existing system is not accepting new or renewal TSP applications at the moment. But I'll touch bases with her and then get you guys an update on that, and that way we can try and work on getting Joe or anybody else that's interested in becoming a TSP into that system. The reason why we would want to get him in the system is that way he can have access to any of our database if he needs to do research on performing any jobs for customers. Let's see. Oh, okay. So the second item that was sent was the district to sign off on conservation plans. So I do apologize that I put this off for a little bit, but I do think that this is something we can do, and I think we should start with probably going over the Joint Chiefs applications. Well, actually, when they become actual plans for the district to review those, since it consists of all the southern folks, southern producers. So I think that would be a good first step for this to have something that we can present for you all to review and approve, and kind of get the feel for what what our planning entails for the customers. I was looking into it, and it seems that the does the district have something in your policy where you guys talk about when customer plans will be reviewed within RCS? Is it during board meetings, or is it um depending on what the plans are, if they're joint funded by the district or us, or is it just can it be something we can meet outside of meetings and then review that? That I'll leave that up to the district, if you guys can kind of look into your if you have any policy on plan reviews and signing off.
I don't think we have any of that right now, right? Yeah. So you're saying we should develop something?
Well, if you don't already have something in place, but
Yeah.
that's something you guys can discuss. But yeah, I was just thinking first step would be like the Joint Chiefs one, because that's kind of like a big collaboration where you guys are actually doing a lot of the outreach for us and getting us our customers. So I do feel you guys do have the kind of like the say on what we're planning and kind of like what you guys want to see, if it's meeting what you guys expectations are for our service to the Southern group.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
and we can discuss that more.
okay. So Jay, early on when you mentioned about the producers, the applications and all that, we're talking about Southern producers, right, at this point, or?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So,
for Joint Chiefs, yes, but for the in my opening, that was overall North and South applications. I didn't get a chance to separate them by district yet.
okay. I was just curious. I wanted to see how much success we're getting on our site.
Okay, yeah, I'll have that breakdown for you.
Okay, all right. Thank
Okay,
you.
so
That's it, right? You're good?
actually I have
Still
three
some
more.
more?
So
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
three more. So I had a follow-up from one of your from one of the Southern producers, Mr. O'Malley. I guess he wanted to find out where the district wanted to find out where we were at with his conservation plan. So we're just finalizing those now. We should have something for him to sign this week. So that's good news. So we're moving along, and our planner is going to reach out to him. Um, he's one of the first Joint Chiefs, so maybe that
Yeah.
might be something. Yeah, we can look at. Um, and then the fourth item was vehicle use for staff, district staff. So I got confirmation from my state office that anybody with link passes is able to use our vehicles. You don't need insurance, but there was just a disclaimer that was mentioned that where it says partners will assume responsibility for claims arising from accidents caused by partner drivers. Partners will be responsible for receiving, processing, and paying tort claims that are submitted due to accidents caused by partner drivers. So they can drive the vehicle, but if something should happen, the insurance is only for the vehicle itself, the government vehicle. But and then anything else outside of that will be on the driver to take care of that. And that goes the same too for NRCS too, the NRCS staff.
So Jay, you said anyone with a link pass, or is it just
Yes.
people associated with NRCS? So like I can drive your car.
If you have well, so is it link like what is that? How do I say? It's our Department of Ag ID.
Yeah, I have a USDA link pass.
Yeah, so you should be able to use it as long as it's scanned. Because what it is that there's we have a telematics system on the vehicle where it's a GPS. In the past, we used to have to log, whoever uses the vehicle manually logs in, but now it's automatic where you just scan your card.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it tracks it right.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that was the reason why I mentioned that link pass users, because without it, there's an alarm system that if you just start the vehicle up, it just it continues to go off, and then it sends a like an alert to whoever's in charge of that system, and then they send me an email, and then it asks to follow up to see what's going on with the vehicle.
So like Starlink?
Not that fancy.
I'm just kidding.
All right, so let's see. Okay, quarterly report metrics. I sent back my response to Erica, and then upcoming grant opportunities. We don't have any yet, but I'll make sure that I keep you guys informed if there's anything that comes up for any like our CPP or CIG that opens up. And that's all I have.
Okay, any questions for Jay? None? Okay, thanks, Jay.
Thank you.
Sorry,
Appreciate that.
Mr.
Mr. Chair,
Chairman.
I did have one.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Sorry,
we
sorry.
have our okay, just really quick, and we don't have to address it now, but being that the TSP route right now is kind of down, we're not accepting new applicants. I'm interested to know if Joe and for others that are affiliated can be onboarded as an SWCD affiliate.
Yeah, well, that was exactly my question as well.
Yeah,
Like,
so
because I think Jay, you said you were gonna be onboarding like Daylene and a couple of our other staff, right?
yes.
I think John, and so I guess to follow with what Erica was trying to say is that those guys they're not technically shared like how we have a piece of, I think Johnny's part of John Tanuvasa's and I think Maddie maybe, I'm not 100% sure with the way you have they're partly funded through NRCS and partly district.
No, so they're not, they're here through the unfunded agreement, so it's just more of a shared time where they can provide whatever assistance I need in the office. So if there's anything that that Joe can provide towards our mission, kind of like mutual, you help us out and then we help you guys out, then that's not a problem with getting link passes and also access to whatever they need.
Sure. So I think that's what maybe me and Erica was kind of on the same note with, was that maybe not necessarily for, I mean, the TSP definitely when there is opening, because I mean, we've wanted to have that. I know you and I with other conversations with IPM for Equip for future, but in regards to this particular ask was more in regards to onboard him so he has access so that he may be able to access, for example, like the systems, ArcGIS, and maybe to help with some of the mapping or whatnot when it comes to our the other grant projects that we're doing. He's officially with Repi under Erica that Erica is directing, and I know we got some buyout time for there. So similarly to how we have like Day and John and Johnny and Maddie, are we able to onboard him in that fashion where he can at least access that? And maybe Ari, if you could clarify, unless that's exactly what you were asking as well.
Yeah, that's definitely what I'm asking.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we can do that. So as long as he can provide also assistance if we ask, then that's not a problem. But if it's 100% just district work, then it's not really something that we can do.
Sure. Okay. Well, that was my only question. Thanks, Ari. Thanks, Chair. Thanks, Shay. Man, a lot of work, bro. Thank you, man.
No worries.
Yeah, keep Jay busy.
Yeah. Thanks, Jay, for answering all of those questions, but definitely good feedback. I think the only other thing that was mentioned was, yes, the districts within our mandates are allowed to review plans that are developed between the U.S. Secretary of Agriculture, which in this case I'd assume is the federal contracts that our members enter into, and then ideally we'd like to approve those during the board meetings or whatever the board feels appropriate, but we can have that discussion. And then just going back, and we can talk about this either now or later, but as you know, John Tanavasa is providing a lot of support in the mapping efforts to help get those maps retrieved and developed to complete the CPA 52, Section 106, and Section 7 requirements for the feral swine perimeter fence applicants. So I know a lot of his time is dedicated to that right now. So just so that way, Jay, I know you mentioned that you do have other, I guess, needs in terms of the staff support. But did the board want to kind of provide input there on, requesting flexibility in terms of allowing John to dedicate maybe more time to the mapping efforts so we can get the applicants through the environmental assessment phase?
Sure, I'll make the request since you already asked Erica, but yeah, Jay, if it's okay that we dedicate more of John's time to do that. Only because I guess we're fulfilling NRC, we're assisting with NRCS's role in doing these CPA 52s. Yeah, I feel like if John dedicates more time to the mapping part for that, it's still assisting with NRCS's role. If that's okay with you, like I have no idea how it's supposed to work out technically on paper, but
Yeah, so I don't have a problem with that. But just to be clear that the CPA 52s are specifically for the perimeter fence. So it does not tie to our to any of our programs. But I don't have a problem with him working on that. But so if we onboard somebody else, what I need is I need PSA help. So like program support. So that would be more of like uploading, doing phone calls and all that stuff. So if another person can come on board that can do that, that'd be perfect. So yeah, I don't have
wouldn't
a
that
problem
just
with
be Jay or Johnny then? Like we can
Sure.
replace Jay and Johnny. Okay. Isn't that the, is that the whole point of onboarding Jay and Donnie?
Yes.
Jay
I'm hoping that that's
Sorry, what?
That's your answer.
Yeah, and also they
That's a
are,
trade-off, right?
I mean, they are SWCD employees and definitely would like to begin the process of onboarding because I'm not sure how long the process takes, Jay, now. I'd
it's pretty
assume.
fast.
Okay, cool. Great. Okay, well that's it for me for now. Thank you, Jay and board.
Thank you.
Thank you, Erica.
Thanks, Shay. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Glenn. Okay, we'll move on to the next item, which is where is that?
Approval of,
Of the
six.
Southern District membership. Maddie?
Oh. Yes, so I sent you all an email, the list is a bit short, my time has been kind of spread out. I've been kind of helping Jero with the fencing, site visits, and then also at NRCS, trying to organize the Joint Chiefs application, so my time's kind of like been spread out and yeah, I haven't really focused much on the active district registry. There's 4 new ones. I have visited more than 4, but it's just a matter of verifying their lots, which I need to do, and I'll hopefully they'll be on the list next meeting. Thank you.
Right.
Okay, so we need to make a motion on that, right, to,
Yes, needed to
Mhm.
approve new members and recognize updates to the active member registry. So I'll go ahead and do that.
okay.
I make the motion that we will approve these four new members as well as recognize updates to the active member registry.
Okay, second,
I second.
okay, any inputs or objections or anything? Without objection, so move, thank you, so we're just building our list of
Yeah,
farmer
awesome.
members, so.
Thank you, Maddie. Keep it
Good
going.
job, yeah. Those are my, two of those are my prunes, so.
I'm wondering if this can be easily transferred to a GIS map, so we can kind of see all the areas everyone's located on the map.
I think eventually, yeah.
For later. Just enough for later.
That would be cool, right? You can really,
Then you can just pinpoint them every
Yeah.
time you, yeah.
I was like, we need some farmers in
Yeah.
Normatic.
Yeah, Director, you're definitely spot on with that. That's definitely something we're venturing into soon.
sounds good, okay.
Okay,
Let me see.
we are now into new business, or no, old business, sorry.
It is as hard to read this. Okay, moving on to number 7, old business, NACD, TA 2024 grant plan of action.
Okay, happy to report that we have initiated the next steps with NACD so that way they can cut the MOA, if you will. The last time we spoke, we agreed that we were going to run this TA 2024 grant through the University of Guam CNAS. However, we have decided to, as per NACD's recommendation, to continue running it through our COG as we have established experience and history with running our other initiatives through our COG. So the next step is to hash out our budget using the new Grant Vantage portal. So things are on its way, moving forward with the TA 2024 grant, and we look forward to fully executing this within the next month or so, the new MOA.
So Erica, were you able to, I know, Mark was trying to contact you earlier today?
Yeah, I did miss Mark. Did
Yeah,
you,
okay,
or should
so
I?
he did, mention a few things that we talked about, like the was that PI,
PI,
what's it?
principal
Principal investigator.
Investigator, yeah, that they said that he can do that. It's allowed because he's a faculty, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what he said, was faculty, or something like that.
is he?
See, Mark, you're talking about
Mark's still a student.
Mark Acosta?
Yeah, he's still a student.
Oh, I don't know, but he said.
He hasn't finished his master's yet.
Okay, well,
Hmm.
I'll look further into it with both the
Yeah,
Dr.
we can follow up on that, then double clarify that.
Okay. Thank you,
But,
Chairman.
he also mentioned that, that NACD should, establish a MOA with Southern Guam, right? And then, the relation with UOG would be like a contract. That's what, our CUOG was telling him.
Yeah, it
So
has to be
if
a
you
contract.
make sure it's like that, right?
Mark can be a PI if you guys. So this is why we're running it through RCOG it has to be through me. Cause I'm just a director. Mark's he's just an advisor, so he's not actually part of the district. So if you guys are gonna run it through Mark, the money has to go to the district first. And you guys have to get an MOA to transfer that through GovBom to UOG.
Hmm.
To RCUOG. Like, he's not legally part of the district. So again, like I talked to Erica about this, it's entirely how you guys want to handle it. So it's either through RCOG, through me, or through the district, through an MOU. Then to CNAS through Mark.
MOU with UOG or?
MOA, sorry, MOA with UOG.
Well, then maybe we'll just have to clarify this more, because maybe, oh, that's what he relayed to me earlier. Talking with, he talked with RCUOG. I forgot the name of that person.
To Mike Connor?
No, it was a female lady that he mentioned.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll talk to, I'll go find him tomorrow
Okay,
if he comes in.
yeah.
Yes, thank you. So whichever way we want to go through the quickest route, that's the major thing, and NACD also agrees, whatever is the quickest way, being that they're waiting for us to get this going. So, okay, thank you, both of you.
Okay, we're good, right? Moving on
Yes.
to 2026 Pacific Region Meeting Planning Committee. Oh my God, we need to get moving.
Yes.
We're already late.
What
Yeah.
efforts have happened so far? Do we have any?
So what we need to do is establish a
About
committee.
committees?
Yeah, so
What committees are we looking at that we need to set up?
I think we just need to assign committee members, or the leads, if you will, the directors who will push this forward and will officially begin planning efforts through the committee. Efforts so far is that we have reached out to Ariel Rivers from NACD, to kind of see if she has any guidance or point of contacts from other regions or in Pacific region members who've hosted the meeting in past. So that was kind of our first initial step, was just to start doing some research to see if they have any tips and tricks for this. But we sent her that email. Once we hear back, we'll let you know. But at this time, since we have this on official business, it may be time to move it to a committee and
so if
provide
we
up.
establish a committee, it's gonna have to, the Northern's gonna have to be involved in this
Yeah.
committee also, so. I think what we need is to establish what we are thinking here in the Southern. And then when the North, we join forces like that, we already know kind of what we are looking for or wanting to do.
I agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're hoping Ariel can provide a lot of information as far as, planning the agendas and stuff like that, and potential numbers in the past, participation right throughout the regions. Remember, this is not only Pacific region, it's also Southwest region.
That's
That's gonna
correct.
be a part of our meeting, so. It's gonna be bigger than just us in the Pacific. And those guys, from everything that they've been saying for the last couple of years at least, they're itching to come to. All those cowboys over there. They need some sunshine from the Pacific Ocean but yeah. So we just need to, I don't know, should we just call volunteers to assign to be in this committee, or should it be a committee as a whole? Or what? What do you guys think?
I don't know, there's only 5 of us.
Yeah, I
So,
was gonna say, yeah, committee as a whole.
Yeah, that sounds good, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We're good with that? Okay, so we'll do that and, so Erica, you wanna be like the lead, what do you call it, coordinator or whatever to get this thing moving, or do you want me to do? What do you want to, what do you
I'd
think?
be I'd be honored, Chairman, to take this and helping coordinate
At
with
least
the board, with the
planning
committee.
the meeting times and all that, we gotta get that, and then reaching out to northern side to
Mhm.
see what they
Well,
got.
yes, and if it's okay with you, we have Savannah online, and I think last meeting
Oh,
we
yeah.
asked what the North is
That's-
planning in terms of this, or
Yeah, so Savannah, have you gotten any kind of info or discussion on your guys' side of the island?
So I actually put it on our agenda for our next board meeting, which will be on June 10th, but I know myself, I've been trying to think of potential field trips from both ends, and then maybe we can discuss further once we start planning our meetings.
Okay, so did you guys decide, or like you're gonna do your any kind of committee, or is it just a committee as a whole, like what we just talked about, or how do you guys wanna approach it?
I'll probably suggest to them how you guys are doing it, just so we're aligned and both director boards can get together on that.
Okay, uh, that would sound good. So you know, just let us know what you guys are talking about or what you wanna do, and then we'll join forces, I guess. But we're gonna move forward too, and maybe just have our own planning meeting just to get things on our side going. You know, cause yeah, there is southern trips, visits that we would like to establish and things like that, but before we even get to that, we just need an overall plan for the whole thing as far as locations, hotels, you know, travel and
Mhm.
all these things that need to come into place, so. Okay,
I did, if I may, think part of what made our meeting with the outer islands so successful is we paid for their travel to Guam. For that, under that
Mhm.
thing, so I'm not sure if any of them would have issues coming to Guam.
well, I'm pretty sure there's,
Yeah.
cause there's a lot of money, a lot of people even said that there's a lot of money, but you know, I like. It's a lot of money for us to go there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we do it 3
But,
times
you
a
know,
year.
with that said, right, you know, I've been just trying to talk to people too about, fundraising and, you know, getting support, right?
Sponsorship.
Yeah, sponsors and all that, so maybe there could be things like, assistance in, travel, the airline, thing, you know, stuff like that, or the hotel rates or things like that, those are the stuff that need to be, looked into to see what we can do to, you know, help them make it more palatable for them to spend their money.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that will be a big part of it is the fundraising and looking for, sponsorship to see what we can get some more support on that. So, good. Erica, you have anything to share there?
I think that's for good for now. We'll just go ahead and get aligned with our own, and then at some point we will need to get with the Northern District sooner than later to join forces. But we'll
Yeah.
wait with what Ariel says.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We need to get that information down first, so. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we'll move on, maybe, within the next few weeks, we can call a meeting just specifically for this.
Mhm.
Okay, we're good, right, with that, we'll just try and, maybe we can do it like a Tuesday, but not a regular meeting Tuesday or something
Yeah.
this time. That might work, because we already know we can mostly come to that. Okay, we'll move on to C is the 2025 Guam local working group. That was on April 30th.
Okay, so it was a great turnout. There was a lot of different partners and farmers that attended. Currently, we have Johnny and Day on putting together the summary report. I think at some point they will also get with Savannah to finalize the reports or get further input so that way both boards can approve this summary report, which would then essentially be submitted to NRCS. Johnny is on the line right now. Johnny, did you want to, he's taking the lead on the local working group report compilation. So Johnny, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, so for the last couple of days, I've just been sort of reviewing all the notes and information that Savannah and Jenilyn had supplied to us. I'm just trying to figure out sort of what the priorities were last year to sort of do a comparison and how it's changed. So thank you, Savannah. Your notes have been super helpful with sort of organizing it. But I think by Monday, I should have a pretty decent draft that I can go ahead and share. I did see the email from the North, Savannah, about having it ready. I think the deadline that we are expecting is in September. So for sure, it'll be done before then. But yeah, I'll make sure to share it with you so you can see what we've got going on and if there's anything that we might need to add or things that we don't need to include.
Malik, so just for the board's awareness, right, the purpose of the local working group, essentially what also NRCS needs from this local working group are the priorities, the priority resource concerns. So this year, what was ranked as our priorities is number one, coming in first place, pest pressure and invasive species. So if we recall last year, it was soil erosion. So this year it's pest pressure. Second is outreach, education, and resource for farmers. Third, water quality and quantity. Four, soil erosion and health. And five, long-term protection of land. So very interesting. Um,
In
but
23, we did it at, was, pest pressure was top, correct?
yes,
Yeah.
pest pressure was top. So it's back at it again. And
We did solve it.
our beloved soil is kind of down there. So I'm surprised, but it's okay.
I think possibly because the way that they're, when the different people collaborate, right? Like the pest pressure is actually affecting that soil health,
Right.
that soil quality. So basically, if we have pest pressure, it also is going to include that soil quality because that feral swine and all that stuff is really just taking it down.
Right. And even that goes for the same with water quality and the same
Yeah.
in the same sense with soil erosion kind of affecting that. So
And I think that's good too, because at least we're really highlighting the fact that feral swine and other pest pressures are, really impacting us overall. So it's good to bring that out also.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention another thing, for the last local working group, we were all in groups and we each kind of ranked the priorities as a group and not as an individual. So each of us had different priorities based on,
Yeah.
what awareness was. So if that could be included in the report, Johnny, just as, just like the methodology and how we came to the priorities, and how that maybe was different from the last local working group. And then just capturing if it is possible, the individual priorities. And I think it's different seeing what kind of audience was there for the different local working groups, because I noticed not everyone was there, so
Yeah.
just as a thought.
Yeah, for sure. I think in Savannah's note, she actually managed to do that where she got like individual. I like how at least from what we collected, or if they had filled that section out on the papers that we had during the local working group, So yeah, she did pretty good with that. I know that there are a few that somehow made it into my car at the end of the day. So I'm also going to be working on incorporating that into her numbers. Um, but yeah, Savannah, if you want to jump in just to say like how you did with the numbers, you can feel free. Claim your work, girl.
Oh, thanks, Johnny. Okay, thanks.
Go ahead, Savannah. If you want.
I'm okay. Thank you.
No, but yeah, in her notes that's at least what I got from it, that she was able to sort of account for the, at least again, if they filled that section out, not everyone was doing that. They were sort of voting with the group in general, at least within my group. We were outreach, so a lot of folks were sort of leaning towards generally what everyone in the group was saying, which I think I was pointing it out to someone. It's crazy how all the groups I'm part of at these meetings, they tend to come out towards the top. Um, I don't know, maybe it's just something about me where we do so well in my groups.
That reminds me, in our group, Mark Acosta was very influencing. He was like, we need to go with the low hanging fruit and choose what we're able to accomplish and make that a priority. And so that kind of influenced how we prioritized our work,
Yeah.
in terms of, so,
And for the children.
yeah, for the children. It was interesting. Anyway, okay, great work, guys.
Okay, good job, Johnny. Even you, Savannah. Thanks for your input. Okay, so we'll move on to our next item, which is the feral swine perimeter fencing program.
Alrighty. Jara, she sent in her report via email. So I'll go ahead and just note the accomplishments as well as some of the setbacks for this reporting period. As far as the accomplishments, she reports that 3 CPA 52 packets have been drafted for farmers. And those are farmers with existing farm and tract numbers. And final packages can be submitted, are set to be submitted tomorrow to Jay. There are 3 CPA 52 worksheets that have been drafted for farmers with new farm and tract numbers. And these are CPA 52s that are coming out as site visits with Maddie and Jara. Those are the CPA 52 worksheets only. In other words, they're beginning the CPA 52 process for these new farm and tract numbers with applicants. There's a total of 37 farmers who were informed via email that their application has been received and or contacted to be scheduled for a site visit. 31 letters to inform farmers of their missing eligibility documents were drafted by Johnny and are planned to be mailed out. And there are 3 folders created following the new shared drive record keeping organization protocol. Basically, we are reorganizing our digital filing system of the feral swine perimeter fence program. So I'm working with Jara and Johnny to get that established. And we look forward to sharing it with the board for their perusal. Dr. Dula, are we able to use our COG's postage account, if any, to mail out official notices to the applicants?
I did not ask, but I can pay for it. I have an account that we can pull from for postage. So these
What
are
is
just
the
first class stamps, right?
Yes. Yes. What is the process like, really quick?
Well, you
Just
just drop it off at the front and you tell them your account number, and then the accountant will sign off on the request. And they'll just drop it at the the post office here on campus. And then they'll do the postage there. But they just need to verify that it's attached to a project, and then they'll charge a project.
Okay. Okay, so Johnny and the team will coordinate with you further on that to get some details.
Okay, but like, how do you guys want to handle the postage? Is it just a first class stamp, or do you want like, was that confirmation? Also, do you want tracking?
Received or whatever.
Yeah,
I think the received would be good. I it might be kind of expensive, right? I'm not sure what the price point is for at least the confirm receipt.
I think it's another like $2 or something
Okay.
like that. Like a first class stamp is almost like 50 or 60 cents now. And so yeah, it'll be like $2.50 per letter.
Okay. Thank you. I think that's worth it from your account.
But what happens if they don't sign off received, it goes to the post office and then they gotta like go
It'll-
there
it'll
with a
come back
pink
to us.
slip or
No.
something?
They'll come back to us if they don't receive it.
Does the board agree that we should send out official letters with the confirm receipt?
It might be cheaper just to do priority with tracking. It just shows it's delivered.
Yeah,
Okay.
Just check,
yeah,
and you know where you don't got there, right?
Yeah,
I agree.
but yeah, I'll take care of that. I'll take care of the cost of that.
Okay, I think that sounds good.
Okay, so as the board is aware, currently the feral swine perimeter fence grant is in an accelerated phase of our planning efforts. Really what I'm saying is we're in the environmental planning portion, which can take a while. So we need to get through all 40 some applicants. We've initiated a short-term kind of performance assessment for the team for Jara to see how if she can accomplish these goals. So we set goals for her to meet to gauge what the realities are in terms of getting these CPA 52s done and environmental packages submitted. So the goal was 7 CPA 52 packages submitted within 2 weeks and 6 new site or farm and track numbers established. So that was the goal. There are some setbacks that she noted in meeting the goal, such as, there are already pre-scheduled site visits. There is also some of the CPA 52 worksheets that were submitted were missing fence points and photos. And then there were issues regarding fence boundaries, but I think from there, all of those setbacks have been already addressed. So it's just, we're moving forward and we'll see what the final numbers are in terms of meeting the goals are from this short-term assessment. So that way we can gauge where the gaps are, where additional support is needed and others. So we'll keep the board posted on that later. I would like to turn it over to Dr. Dulla if you wanted to add anything further.
No, not in particular. I feel like even though the 7 whatever packages were not complete, just like we have a better idea of how much can be completed. We know the different hurdles that we might encounter now that we're pushing. And like maybe now that everything's kind of out in the air and we know all our limitations, we can have a realistic, either better plan realistically to hit that 7 per week, or to have a more realistic goal. But I think 7's still realistic if we were aware of the previous hurdles or whatever obstacles. But yeah, no, when Jara comes back full time, and she's taking time off now for her grandmother, so you know, with the added coordination from Erica, I think it won't be a problem.
Can I share? Because I've been kind of pretty much on the stuff there. I want to be able to reiterate. Maybe we got Jay online. I don't know if he can confirm in terms of, because we did come back with some stuff that I was been helping out on the side on this. And when we say 7 packets, I want to make sure that we know that the 6 of those packets were pretty much 90% done via Joe Tequero. So in order to have gotten the leftover, meaning I guess the one, I believe that would be the Canatas and Talafofo, that was done by Jera in terms of her site assessment and then putting that one together. I don't know what you mean in terms of realistic, because like I said, I think, and this is where that's why we're trying to onboard Joe, is because what, from my understanding, as I've even communicated with Jay in the past week or two, was what's needed is just more the leftover piece that needs to be done with the mapping, which again, if we have training in some regard, can be done within, I mean, each particular one could take 30 minutes. I mean, generally an hour. If again, all of that stuff was completed, and then you just need the map. And I spoke with Jay on this a couple of weeks ago. It's just being able to get those done. And so I'm trying to figure out in terms of when you say realistic, I'm having a hard time with understanding what you mean by that.
No, I'm just saying we're gonna reassess how many Jara and the team can produce per week.
Yeah,
You know,
but
like the
talking about,
template is made.
I'm talking about what we gave for 2 weeks from when we last had because again, right, we had this conversation when we pulled her on as a project director. That as a matter of fact, we kind of trusted you. You were saying that was who we were picking up, and that the when you look up our COGs, you know, what that entails. I was under the impression she had all of that qualifications and skills. And so when we realized that, she did the walkthrough training with Jay Dornilla, who's our district conservationist, and then she had 2 extra trainings hand in hand with paper in hand, and then Joe still got 90% of it done. I'm trying to figure out. I don't understand. I don't know. Maybe if Erica, when she said that the packets, I wanted to ask Erica again, when it came to the complete packet, where are we at today? As of 2 weeks ago, or a week and a half, maybe, because it's Wednesday. And I'm trying to figure out if that's the rate that we're at. I think we might need to revisit this, because it's not matching up in terms of what I believe we had signed on for.
Okay, sorry, Glenn, let me just interrupt real quickly.
Sure.
So I think we are planning to do a executive session to discuss things further.
Sure.
We'll just save it for that time frame.
Sure.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So is there anything else, Erica, you wanted to add about the fencing?
I think that's covers it for now.
Okay.
But yeah, to just really answer Director Glenn's question really quick, there were 3 CPA packets that are looking to be submitted by tomorrow morning. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, can I ask which those were? Which 3?
HIPAA, no, just kidding.
Yes, I'll
Probably.
send information to you.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, guys. We'll move on to new business. We got the 2025 Stewardship Week activities after action report. Who's doing that?
I'm going to throw that to Day. And Day leaves, so
Sure.
from her.
Well, the board received the stewardship and
Yes.
Dex, the full report. So we noticed there are some edits to make, so Johnny and I will make the edits and send you guys the final by next week Wednesday. Just because there's more edits.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's it for the after action report. Before the resolution, Director Vaughn, did you want to share anything? We made it on the news, or not the news, Tony Adams' Instagram.
Oh, we did, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was a great experience. I was expecting our board to be in attendance. But I think that it went really well. Savannah, Jen, and then Director Marlene came to represent the North. It was actually unexpected for me because I didn't expect to speak during that time. So I was really caught off guard. But I think that it made me realize that, we do have senators out there who want to be involved a little bit more. And they did make a comment like, oh, more people should be here. And, they mentioned several, yeah, they're like, oh, more people should be here.
If they had had it when they were supposed to have it, there was a lot of people
Right?
there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
You
I
know,
think-
everybody that had vested interest was there.
And they wanted more senators to be
Mhm.
there as well. So I think moving forward, if we can work not just with
Or-
speaker or Tony Ada, but with other senators, and so they can know a little bit more about the work that we do. I think Senator Tina Maria Barnes was really, she knew the work that we did, and as well as Senator Calvo and then Senator Tony Ada, but they seem eager to know more and want to get involved with, especially with the tree planting. So, yes. Thank you, Dave, for setting that up. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, thank you also for the
Thanks for
report.
covering.
I read it and it was, thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Dave.
Yes, thanks, John.
The report was really well put together and very thorough. How many pages was that again? Yeah, that was
It was
awesome.
almost
Loved
50,
it.
but it's definitely gonna be close to 100 when we're done.
Yeah, oh, everything, like you guys, I was surprised. I'm like, I've done end of a project report thing, and wow, I know how thorough I make mine, but yeah, you guys are even more thorough.
Okay.
I love the tennis and everything like that, so excellent. Thank you so much for your hard work to put that together. I feel like you guys really covered everything. I went through it, I couldn't think of anything else that was missing, so it's good. And yes, we had over 100 people that were ready to hear that resolution. Just saying.
Yeah. I'm one of those.
Mhm. But yeah, my apologies, I couldn't, that was already, I had mom duty on
Yeah.
Friday and couldn't make it.
Yeah,
No
sometimes, I mean, we planned already. And outside of that, it's already hard enough for me,
Yeah.
especially, so.
Of course, understood.
But thank you so much, Director Yvonne,
Yeah.
for representing us and for,
Yeah.
I wish I was there now because I missed your speech.
Oh, that's what I said, honestly, I was just like, it's here. I just wanted to make sure I mentioned our team members that have been there since the beginning and did so much work for it, so, yeah.
Thank
That's
you.
what I wanted to do.
All right.
We're there in spirit.
And I don't know, just on a side note, that was a really amazing event, well put together, the gala. Again, once again, great job with the MCing and all the planning.
That was so much fun.
It was so fun. We're gonna do that every year now.
I was telling Chairman, we already know the next date for
Yeah.
next year. It's May 2nd.
The next
Yeah.
gala date?
Yes, Viva. Okay.
Scope that out. Well, anyway, that was a really great thing. I mean, people that I wasn't expecting were, giving us kudos for
Yes.
that. So, yeah, it was good. And I think the people that we brought in, the educators, our partners, everybody,
Mhm.
they appreciated it very much and.
It was
And Angie, oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
God.
It was the perfect way to end that, all the stewardship week activities. This is like, every year I feel like the way Southern Guam has activities for stewardship week, it just gets better every year. And this year is like oh, you guys like shot it out of the water.
Yeah, good job.
Amazing. The PSAs, what you call it, the summit, the gala, everything, just perfect. And we're still working, Miss Savannah, for the poster contest. Right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. We're waiting, we talked about it a little bit and we're thinking we wanna, summertime already, so it's kind of hard to do a poster contest. But we definitely know that, we will be participating again. We wanna make it bigger and get more students involved, but we're gonna wait until August, September, when the kids come back to school to bring the Home is Where the Habitat Is
Yeah.
theme and send it out into the school so we can
Sure.
get, yes, exactly. Because we have all the way till December to submit our entry to represent Guam.
Well, we have teachers out there now too, so.
Oh,
we can
yes,
always reach out
yes,
to them.
and now we have the cohort of teachers, plus I believe it's Northern going to have a what's that? Educators symposium, Sav? Like last summer? Maybe? But whatever, yes. Just, we're not yet done with stewardship week, still have that one to go.
Director Marty, are you willing to take up the poster contest project again?
Of course she is.
Yeah, yes, because Savannah's gonna be there.
Okay, perfect. So I think what we'll do is we'll take a look at the rules, you and I, and then we'll send it over. We'll make some edits. I know there was some edits or some initiatives, if you will, or there's other areas of the poster contest that could be included or categories, if you will. So I'll work with you on that and we'll send it over to Savannah.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Erin. I
Thanks.
walked right into that.
That's all I was hearing. I was like, oh yeah.
Spearheading it, so.
Well, anyways, that thing would not be a great event if you guys all didn't pitch in and help each other and get it done, so. It comes down to teamwork, right? And,
Yeah.
For sure.
supporting each other, and that's what you guys did. That was great. It was really. I feel like, man, that was like a big thing that I never imagined us doing something. So it's good. And we'll keep it going.
Yes,
Thank you, everybody.
because we already have a date.
Yeah, we picked the date already. Okay, moving on to B, which is REPI grant extension proposal and approval.
Okay, so I was able to work closely with Dr. Dilla on getting this REPI grant extension going with NACD. So as of today, we were able to send over the proposed scope in which I shared with all of the board members via email this morning on the three different tasks that we're looking at to accomplish with the additional funding. So currently, right now, we're just working with NACD to kind of iron out establishing a new MOA, if you will. Dr. Dilla, were you able to check or speak with our COG regarding those deposits?
Yeah, they're looking for them. They
Yes.
haven't, I just sent them the email, so they're gonna look into it.
Okay, cool. So I guess where we're at right now on our end is just we still have money that we're drawing down. However, I guess the deposits from NACD to RCOG is possibly going into somewhere, a new account, or it's somewhere in which RCOG needs to identify because as it stands, we don't have that. funding in which we should have. Right, Dr. Dilla, am I saying that correctly?
Yeah, but they're not gonna cut us off.
Okay,
It's okay. I talked to the director and, they'll square it away first. And then they will keep the account open until we get the new award and the amendments, in, hopefully quickly.
hopefully quickly, yes. But yes, really exciting stuff ahead. And I'm excited to move these new initiatives forward under the REPI grant initiative. So we'll keep the board posted. Take a look at the initiatives in that proposal, and yeah, we'll keep the board informed. It's about $200,000 that we're looking at getting for the next year.
Okay, do we need a motion to approve this thing?
Possibly. I think maybe we should, Erica, because, we're gonna submit it. And we probably won't meet again,
Until after.
yeah, until after.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, real quick, do you just want to go over just the objectives and I don't know if you want to go over the budget, but.
Sure.
is that-
I'll go over the objectives. So with the new objectives in which we're looking to accomplish under the REPI is to continue one, ongoing coordination with the Guahan Sentinel Landscapes Partnership. So as we all know, we did successfully receive Sentinel Landscape designation. And ultimately, the Southern District will assist in continuing to engage with the partnership to strengthen collaboration and ultimately foster interagency coordination to accomplish the implementation goals that are spelled out in the Guahan Sentinel Landscapes Plan, implementation plan. And then another initiative that we will be pursuing under the initiative, or another, sorry, I like said initiative. It's late back here, but anyways, we're looking at launching a conservation resource hub, or the Guahan Sentinel Landscape Portal, which is basically a both public and private facing website that would support ongoing collaboration amongst our partners, provide resource access and technical assistance delivery. So the portal would host essential tools, spatial data, planning templates, and program coordination materials that improve communication across agencies as it pertains to conservation efforts. And lastly, we are looking to deliver a high priority training on conservation planning and environmental documentation, kind of similar to what we have going on right now with Joe DeCaro, but on a much larger scale. We hope to host this training that would essentially build the capacity of our soil and water district staff across the island, and as well as our partners and affiliates. So essentially maybe even inviting land agents from CLTC or the Guam Department of Agriculture, in where we are benefiting our mutual clientele and aiming to recruit our farmers and landowners in conservation programs, but as well as creating this pool of individuals who could carry out an environmental assessment, if that makes sense. So those are our three big initiatives under the REPI grant. Again, if you want to take a look at the email that I sent for more details, that's available to you too.
okay, so
Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I reviewed
Yeah.
it. I don't have any more changes, so
Okay, so someone motion to
Yeah.
accept.
I make a motion to accept the Repi grant extension proposal for the amount of $200,000.
Second,
I'll second.
no other discussion, right? We're good, okay,
Good job.
obviously.
Okay.
Okay,
Crossing your
without
fingers.
objection, so moved, thank you, guys. Thank you, Erica. So
Thank you,
item
Erica.
C, the NFWF coastal or refunding proposal.
Yeah, so we we were invited to submit a grant application to the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation's Coastal Resilience Fund. Uh, I worked closely with Adrian, Lorzell, and Patrick to submit a pre-proposal, which was due in a very tight timeline after the gala on May 6th. But we were able to successfully submit our package, and all it was that so we didn't get funded for the Wildland Urban Interface grant that we submitted with Department of Agriculture in collaboration with the Guam Fire Department, and where we were looking to install fire breaks around the Malesu Gura housing and as well as the Ocean View Middle School. So we repackaged that, and we also included some outreach. It's very outreach specific. We're looking at getting 750,000 over the span of 3 years, primarily to focus on outreach. But we also included, to get the DoD preference, the FINA watershed area to engage with the landowners there. I will send the proposal to the board for your review. But according to Adrian, she helped kind of review it before we submitted. And according to her, it looks really strong. So hopefully we can hear back soon. There is a timeline in which I will provide that to you. But once we get word, then we'd have to work on putting the bigger proposal together. This was just the pre-proposal to see if we can get the funding or to apply for the bigger funding pool.
Okay, so right now we're just waiting, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Moving to D, NACD summer meeting in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which is July 25th to the 29th. this
Are you
summer.
able to go?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, fine. Hopefully I'm this time.
Yes, all right.
So what do you guys want to do there? Summer meeting is not the same thing as the annual meeting,
Right.
so, just trying to figure out who needs to go. I know, I always mention Erica
I know,
because she's the one
same.
that, she's got the meetings of all these other, people, so that one's,
I agree.
yeah.
Erica, you need to go. Are you able to go, Erica?
That's in the ending of July?
Yeah, are you free to go to Milwaukee, July 25th to July 29th?
I think so, if the board allows me to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
well,
as far as board of directors, and Erica, what's our funding capacity here for travel? You know, and
I
how
know we
many-
always budget for two to attend. Yours is good.
Yeah, it's covered already.
Yes, so we can send another, are you there in the summer now?
I can't.
You can't go.
No,
Glenn?
I'm,
Oh, I have another meeting that I'll be at.
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, I can always go. How about Glenn, Dr.
Glenn?
What's that? Director
Takai?
Glenn Takai, how about you? Are you free? Are you in there in the summer? He's not there.
Sorry, I was a little tied up.
Are you able to go to the summer meeting, July 25th to the 29th in Milwaukee? Are you
that's the Wisconsin one.
Yes.
Okay, can I check back? Because I know my wife and daughter's gonna be in the Philippines. I think around the same time. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll still be
Okay.
in summer that time, so I'll be available to go.
It just depends on whether you're in the Philippines though.
Yeah, it just depends if I'm gonna go to like follow them to the Philippine trip as opposed to the summer. I think the summer meet that's the one on the end of July, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Can I check back?
Okay,
Sorry.
okay.
all right.
Well, let's just put it as at least one more between you or Glenn.
Yeah.
Whichever
And I'm
one.
free to go if he's not able to go. I've never attended a summer meeting, so that would
Oh,
be
yeah.
fun. I've been to the Pacific Region meeting, which we
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
You've been to a summer meeting, the
I
one that
know.
was, no?
Just the board
Oh,
meeting.
No, the summer meeting? You didn't go to that one that was, which one did you attend?
Just the annual
San
board
Diego?
meeting. Yeah, San Diego.
Oh, okay.
That was
Oh,
last year and.
the time when you were off island and you met up with them, you didn't meet up with them there?
No,
Oh, that was a summer meeting. Okay.
I don't think.
And when you
Like-
went to your daughter's,
Mhm.
was it graduation or?
Did I meet up? with
Yeah,
them?
you met up with them because you were already in California. And then that was like in Detroit or I don't even know where,
I
somewhere.
don't think I did. Erica, do you recall me attending another meeting aside from the annual board meeting? I think it was the annual board meeting, but I did San
Yeah.
Diego and water.
That was the
Yeah.
only one. 'Cause we were just introducing her to everybody there at San Diego.
Oh,
Yes.
so sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't see much of
Yeah.
you
So, yeah.
either. 'Cause
Unfortunately.
I was
So-
always in the.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I might be traveling for work sometime in July, that's why, but not sure when. It might be around that time, so I need to leave that date open.
I got my global entry approved. I'm good to travel.
Yay, congratulations.
No more going through the long line and waiting and having everyone meet me at the gate.
Well,
Well-
to your defense, you've been going through that faster than the TSP.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe we could just make a motion to approve travel for,
Erica,
Erica plus
And
one
other
director whoever's available.
at this point.
To
and
be
Figure out,
determined at a later date.
okay.
And
motion.
Director Glenn, you just let us know if it's in conflict with your Philippines trip.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve the attendance of Erica to the NACD summer meeting in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, in addition to another board member, either Director Marty or Director Glenn, for July 25th through 29th.
And of course, me.
Yeah,
Of
and
course.
yes, yeah.
Approving
Yeah.
chairman's
Yeah, which would be reimbursed.
attendance as
So,
well.
yeah,
Yes.
okay, second,
Second,
okay, anything else, any discussion, no objection? Okay, thank you, so moved. Okay. Next item is collateral boards and committees served. So, do we have any? We haven't had our meeting.
do
foundation
have,
species yet, but- Yeah, right.
There is a subcommittee meeting coming up for the climate and water. Let me find out.
Glenn, you weren't able to do the legislative, right, the other day?
Oh yeah, you know what? I asked if what happened. I guess because they remember I was always on natural resources, and then I know
Yeah.
the president
They moved-
Gary, he asked to switch us over to legislative, but I don't think they switched over the email. So I haven't been receiving the email with the link and when it's happening, but I did get it from Mary like that, like I think a little late, and I wasn't. By the time I got it, I had missed the meeting, the last legislative meeting.
Okay.
Actually, the first two since we switched over.
yeah,
And so I asked Ari if she can throw it out to either get, or I don't know who's sharing it now with the new. So whoever is sharing it, if they could just stick my email in there, so that way I'll know. They usually give like the reminder, and then I'll be set and aware, and then I can be ready for that, because it's usually like what, 6 in the morning or 7 in the morning our time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I missed the last two simply because of that. I wasn't aware until it was like, I think, the morning of.
No problem. Yeah, so like my 2 meetings will be coming up. I
Mhm.
think it's next week for executive board, and then the invasive species on you remember the date on that, Glenn?
No,
The
I'm not getting the emails either.
You're not?
Yeah, I
Really?
haven't seen any.
Huh.
Yeah, and invasive,
But
I think, is
you were
Dr.
on
Dula, that Glenn,
one
right?
last meeting, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It popped up on my calendar, but I
Oh.
haven't gotten a new one yet.
Well, let's find out about that.
Yeah, well,
Try and see.
if you know, just tell me or
Yeah.
forward me the email.
Okay. But yeah, mine are not like the 2 meetings that I've been, but I was trying to get on the legislative too, but I have my own morning issues with my grandson, so.
But now it's summer.
Yeah, it's coming
We
up.
can probably follow up with Joe Santos. I'm sure he may have been on, and we could get what we missed in regards to, because I believe he's on the north. Maybe we can ask Savannah if he could reach out, and maybe, or maybe even you, Chair, if you could reach out to him and see, if there's anything that we needed to, that we missed.
Yeah.
I can
Well,
ask him.
Thank you, Savannah.
Thank you.
And you can just, either message us or something, call one of us.
That's enough to be formal.
Yeah. Okay,
So, okay, I'm forwarding so on Friday, the 23rd, which is Thursday, the 22nd in the States. I think this is around 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 4 to 5 Eastern time.
yeah.
So the agenda for this meeting is to review the transition document and strategic plan for the Water and Climate Subcommittee. And then what they're hoping to accomplish this session. And then figuring out when the frequency and time for the meetings will be. So this will be the first meeting for this year.
Oh, it's gonna be your first?
For their, yeah,
committee?
for their,
Oh.
yeah. So it looks like, because it's a transition document for the new committee. That's all I have. Thank you.
Remember what the thing is, Glenn, for the invasive species,
It's play and clean and
Play.
play.
Clean, play, go.
Clean, play, go, right?
Yeah.
Clean, play, go.
Yeah, it's just like the clean
Yeah.
your boots before you run
Yeah.
into the forest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Erica, I did forward you something this morning from,
Yes, I
Uh,
got it.
yeah. Okay.
I'll forward it all to the group.
That was. Okay. Moving on to the next one is board correspondence. Do we have any correspondence going out or anything?
Oh, Mr. Chair, if I can just add a few updates under the collateral boards and committees, sir, really quick.
Oh, okay.
So I know our feral swine efforts aside from the fencing, but we have our pig brig feasibility study. So I'll be taking that up to start looking at the data, working with Ken again, but I like to engage with the committee offline so we can revisit our efforts so far with this pig brig feasibility study and how we can re-engage and refocus and see where we're at so that way we can work towards what we initially planned out for this study. So I know it was a bit busy, but now that we kind of have our big events out of the way, I like to make sure we check in on the study. So I'll engage with the committee to check back in.
Okay.
Some other updates, the SWCD election committee, we were looking to meet I think on Tuesday. But because everyone's kind of off island, it was rescheduled. But I did submit some of the previous advertisements that we published for the nomination and election. So right now that's really our focus, is to kind of get those ads going, because we will be having to, at some point in July, start advertising the nominations process, or opening, if you will. Timeline, I think timeline. And then, of course, getting ready for the election. So it's still moving. I guess Dr. Bavakwa has noted that he is no longer the Northern Guam's advisor, and he was also the lead for that election. Yeah. So Roland Tigua is now the advisor for the Northern District. So, but Mark is now taking the lead. So Director Glenn, I know that we're on that committee with Mark, so we'll provide him support, as well as the team, the staff. So we'll keep it moving, but I just wanted to provide an update on that election committee efforts.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Can I add one more thing? You just reminded me. So at the resolution, the senators mentioned if we wanted to send our PSAs to play over the legislative website, and I think that's over the TV as well as on their YouTube. It's free for us, and to send that over to Vice Speaker Tony Atta, so his email, and so I think we could do the request for them, but they offered playing our
That sounds
PSAs
good.
on.
And that's the one on the,
On
like,
the,
channel 8.
Yeah, they have like a
I-
legislative channel.
the public hearing website, the legislative
Yeah.
website,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah,
If you wanted to also do that, yeah, they offered, so, yes, we can take advantage of some free,
Yeah. Well,
free, advertising
can we
areas.
send them the other one from last year?
Yes, I think that's fine, so please explore
Cool.
that.
Okay. All right, John, and Jay and Johnny will look into that and get that going. Thank you, Director Yvonne.
Um,
Okay, so that's it. We're no other correspondence things. Erica, do we have anything? No, I don't. have anything.
Yes. So just one thing that's come down, I forwarded that to the board, but Chad Richardson, and I know Noah's there hiding in the back.
Yeah.
But he did send an email to us notifying that we have exhausted all of our funds for this fiscal year. So right now, Noah, do you want to report on that? Since you're there, on really the rundown of the letter that Chad has sent.
I don't think I read Chad's letter, because I think he sent it out yesterday night or just this morning before I did to the airport, but essentially. We'll be closing out all current traps slowly as we try to trap as many pigs as we can on properties we're working on, so we're not just pulling traps right away, we're gonna do it over time once they've completed. But I think by the 31st is when we're hoping to have that kind of closed out. Unless there's still activity, and then we'll keep going a little longer, just to make sure we serve all the people we're currently working on.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
Yeah, so just
Noah.
oh yeah. Sorry, is Noah done?
Yes.
I wasn't sure if you wanted
Oh.
more information, but yeah,
Me too.
that's all I.
Okay,
Hold on.
so yeah, we're definitely exhausted, so I guess they'll be pulling traps kind of
So
soon.
what, yeah. So what kind of numbers you guys come up with for Southern? you have that with you right now?
Yeah, I know Chad sent the report just this morning, but off the top of my head, I think in the south for this fiscal year, we were at 225-ish. And that was just through the first quarters. We have some extra ones in April and May that our technicians haven't had a chance to enter yet because they were on military leave, but around 225 for the south, I believe.
Yeah, Noah's
Okay.
correct. It's reported as 245 in 6 months. Yes. So Chad asked me how we want to handle the calls that are coming through to APHIS. I noted to refer to Madeline. For now, since we have our own little program going on, right? That's really all we can do. I did emphasize to Chad that maybe not telling people and who are inquiring into service that because the South didn't pay money,
Yeah.
they have to pull the trap. So Chad is very good in terms of he really wants to help and work with us, and he's taking a whole different approach to the Federal Sign program in general. He's looking at pulling pots of money from wherever he can get to ensure that service is provided throughout the island. So I guess we'll wait and see. Being that we have about one last quarter left in the fiscal year, he did put it out there if we'd be willing to commit any funding to kind of keep efforts going to the end of the fiscal year, even if it's $20. That's what he said. Um, so if the board can maybe, if you want to decide maybe by next month, if that's something we want to commit or kind of just stick with what we said, that's fine too.
Well, if we do decide, we would need to know like what kind of fund we have available to do that, so. Maybe you can
Yeah.
check on that and then we'll talk about it.
I got a question. So, but in the pig brig fund that's sitting there, there's 4,000 for 56 and 65 cents left. Is that obligated for the feasibility study or? Cause that's gonna expire whatever in September, right? The end of the fiscal year.
Yeah, that's obligated already. That's for, that's part of the first 20 grand that we did in the very beginning.
So that, yeah, there's some more.
That's there for the feed, and then we also got to get more cameras and things and whatever repairs we will need for those ones that we have purchased already so far. So that's still the one that we haven't exhausted from when we first started it.
I know Chad mentioned he wanted to reach out to the mayors, and the mayors were possibly going to provide some funding for them to.
Well, that's what Erica mentioned earlier there about pooling, because I did meet with Chad, was it last week, I think it was. And so just identifying all the funding sources that's available from Guam, for Guam, and then just trying to make that work within the island-wide, right?
That's the whole goal, is to
Yeah.
build an island-wide program
Yeah.
where everyone puts
Yeah.
in and we just provide service
Right.
everywhere. There's been
Yeah.
a different model in the past and Chad's definitely working toward more of
Yeah.
a whole island.
And, he said it's doable, it can be done, so, we'll see what happens, right? We'll just, we'll wait till he gets back or whatever, and we'll have.
Yeah, and I know he's been working on the mayor thing and.
Yeah.
It's a slow process.
Yeah. So. And we're gonna continue our efforts too, so.
And he is aware on that local work group. I actually stayed all the way till the end of it, and we had a good chat at the end on the outside. And so I filled him in with all the past history when he wasn't here, and it was a lot of stuff he wasn't aware of, like when they took the traps and put them in the base that we weren't, you know what I mean? We're kind of like, hey, what's up with that, and why we moved in a new direction. So that was stuff that he learned of, and he was like, wow, now he had a better understanding of why we were trying to reach out to do, to find different methods, different ways to deal with this. And so, I just wanted to share that he has got a better picture now of you know, kind of what we're doing, why we're doing it. And then I explained to him how we had the vision of all the mayor villages in the and doing this trapping system that we're doing. And I also connected him with at least Ken, who showed up to our gala. That's our participant volunteer for Talafofo. So, and he's moving down. I think he's already moved down to EPAN. Oh, sorry, I don't know if I was supposed to say that out loud. My bad. Sorry, Chad. But yeah, sorry. But yeah, so we did tell him, you know, whatever we need to do to work together, we made sure that that's something we're our bigger goal is. It's not just what we're doing individually, but so just wanted to share that. So we've already on the side have been kind of connecting already, so looking good.
We can set it up in Buck's yard, right?
Yeah.
Right on, right on. Yeah, right on. Yeah. Start there, right?
Yeah, okay.
All right. Thank you, Noah.
Yeah, thank you very much. Sorry made you wait to the last. I was trying to find where to squeeze you in, man, but. We need to have a specific category there.
Yeah.
You guys, I know Chad committed to attending our meetings regularly, so. You know, just like Jay has a spot.
Yeah.
Maybe we can.
We can move him
do
up
that.
to right after Jay.
Yeah. That way you guys have a spot and you know when that is, so.
Yeah,
We'll work on
that's a
that.
good idea.
Yep.
Thank
Appreciate
you
it.
for your patience.
Okay.
Okay, other than that, oh, do you have anything? What's your name again? Angela, right?
Andrea.
Andrea,
Angela's my
sorry.
sister.
Andrea.
It's our first meeting, right, with us, right?
Yes.
In the,
I took over for Kaya,
Mhm.
so I'm now the drone pilot for Southern Soil. I am currently working on a plan to knock out as many farms as I can that have not been mapped yet. I did find, I have 4 that I can send over that's already completed. Prior to me taking over, so. And I'm gonna I mapped my way around, the southern part, so I'm not gonna be jumping into different villages. Or, you know,
okay.
different areas.
Molly?
Yes.
Who's
Okay.
helping you coordinate that with for you? Is it
Maddie.
Manny? Yeah.
Yes. Cause, they did send me the drone mapping tracker, so, I managed to kind of pinpoint where where my starting point's gonna be and then work my way around.
So which side are you going? West to east or east to west?
Well, I'm gonna start from Junya and make my way
There you
down
go.
and around,
Okay.
so I feel like it's easier. I mean, I can knock out as many as I can in a day. But not to overexhaust myself and, you know, the other people that are helping me as well. And that tag along on this mission. So my goal really is, 4 farms, a day. Or like per day, whenever the mapping days are, so.
Okay, that's good. I did.
Okay, nice, thank you.
Yeah.
On the note of mapping, I spoke to Dr. Nate Habana at the gala. And he mentioned that southern Guam will be mapped out on Weary coming soon. I'm not sure about what map, if it's the watersheds down south, but the north has their own map and.
So the Jamal names are. The Jamal.
Yeah, I don't know, just, it's multiple maps that he's working on. I think it's more so the watershed and the areas, the tributaries and things like that, so more, I think we should try to look out for that next month. But anyways, thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. Looking forward to seeing some of that work. Okay, so where we at? Next meeting is June 11th. Everybody's good, you know,
Yeah.
that's a standard, set,
Mhm.
week, Tuesday of the month, right? Okay, so with that said, our next step is we're gonna go into executive session. So that would just be us,
Can we keep Erica on?
yeah, she's gonna be on. Yeah.
So do I stop the live stream because,
Yeah,
Yes.
stop recording, stop live
Yeah.
stream.
We don't need a motion to go into that, do we? No,
I don't know.
I don't think so.
because previously we would just stop the audio and video and then it would still be going, but then, when we come back, that's when we turn on the audio and video,
Yeah,
so that it's all within the
Yeah,
live stream.
that's fine.
But then, if they're gonna be online, then can I turn off the audio and video, is what I'm saying, so.
oh,
Oh, so we just say goodbye to everyone that's
Oh,
online?
I could, if I stop the live stream, then
Okay.